let's start off with something that we talked about a few times, but Tesla is
Mm-hmm.
up was up big today, and it's up $30 in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Over the past 30 days, it's been up $30. So I know we talked a lot about Tesla and how they are losing, their stronghold on the EV space, how their CEO's behavior has become increasingly erratic, and how it's something that has lost favor with a lot of investors, but
Mm-hmm.
has a strong showing, at least today and over the last 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
So what does this say about Tesla?
It's gonna well, I told everybody about 140 if you're in stock club. If I made you money, please put yes in chat. The autonomous robot thing. The big lesson here is like once a company draw down to certain levels, Fibonacci retracements help. Maybe well at InvestFest, I'll go over Fibonacci retracements in my presentation. So their key levels of when to buy, they just got to a critical level. I think it's really important to know outside of conjecture, which we'll talk about with Van Jones, hopefully. You can't spin sentiment or truth. Like it was at a attractive enough price point. So if it gets down to 108, I love it. If it gets down to 140.99, I love it. From that price is taken off. There should be a ceiling around 228.25. So I think the biggest thing, and I stressed this on a stock club call yesterday. Thank you to those of you who were there. We have to make our investment decisions based off of data and price and not noise. This is the right time to buy. Do I think that they're going to rule the world with autonomous vehicles? No. I think Uber's a better competitor. Do I think that they'll get to the of 18 trillion valuation that he said? No, that's three apples. But is it a good buy? 148, 150? Yes. Um, Second biggest lesson is continue to hold for long periods of time, and everything will work out. So, um, but we have to we be mindful. Stock was at 414.50 in
Mm-hmm.
2022. It's not even at 250 again, so it's still halfway from where it should be at its peak. But if you hold for long periods of time, you'll be good.
Yeah, I think we spoke about this, and there was like some feedback. I read some chatter like, you guys are going to regret what you're saying about Tesla in 5 years. It feels like
No, I
they missed.
won't. I'll
No,
tell you
I
real
think
quick.
yeah, I think they missed the part where we're like, yo, we're still holding Tesla. We're still like
Yes,
invested in Tesla. We're
yes,
just talking about what's happening right now and what's happening. If we looked at that chart, right? Like I remember saying, like, if you look at this chart, it's tough for me to say, yeah, this is definitely a company that you should be in just because of the volatility. But in addition, I believe it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, I was like, look, it's prime now because of all of the setbacks that it had when we talked about its earnings call last quarter. We talked about the production. We talked about the delays in production. We talked about the amount of vehicles that were shipped. We brought up all those things. So that's behind them, right?
yep.
We talk about innovation. We talk about the leader. It's poised. We saw some of the pullback in China. We already spoke about BYD and its market share there. But then we saw people sell off in BYD. I
Mm-hmm.
think it's going to be a good quarter for it. It's running into its earnings in 2 weeks. I think when we talk about that Magnificent Seven, when it was inside of it, I don't know if people still consider it. They should. We're 2 weeks away from its earnings. And so we're going to start seeing news and watching it tick up. It's saying, all right, well, there's something happening inside this company right now. Production sales have probably gone up. We'll see. But we said it's 2 weeks. We're going to start seeing the positive news because I think this quarter is going to be drastically different than the last.
And I call the price. So for those of you who only watch clips, do you listen to the whole show or just skim through it on social media?
That was definitely. I think that reaction was definitely just a clip. Because if you listen
Yeah.
to the show, there's no way you have that type of reaction.
I'm gonna do what Whitney's family did to her, and I'm gonna be mindful. Rest in peace to the Queen, one of the greatest voices of all time. But if he is still doing drugs in that office, it is going to have adverse on that stock, adverse impact. Why ain't y'all pumped up GameStop?
If he's
Y'all
allegedly
got
doing
all these hot takes.
it. Yeah.
I'm said zoom into me. This is a reflection of Ian Dunlap and Red Panda LLC, not Troy Rashad or Earn Your Leisure. But if you get that payout, cool. But I am saying it is not great if a leader is in office of this magnitude consistently doing drugs is going to have an adverse effect on the stock, and it's still half off from where it should. And there isn't 4 major hedge funds that will back him the way that they did in 2020 and 2019, as Kathy Woods did. He needs that in order for the stock to go up. Retail investors isn't going to push that up. I am sorry. But stop listening to clips, and then even y'all with y'all geopolitical takes, man, you and Rashad keep talking about BRICS. Y'all underestimating America. Why don't y'all move? I am. But don't talk to me about geopolitics and you don't have no properties outside of the states. I don't want to hear it. I'm in the mood today. I'm gonna say what Van Jones can't say when we get to this political topic.
Thanks for the advice, guys. Do you think so? In 2020, early pandemic, the volatility of Tesla, we actually saw it shoot up. We saw it split. A lot of it was institutional, but there was a retail push again from the stock, which obviously when we talked about the ARK funds, which would all had allocations inside of it, do you see a resurgence? Could there be a resurgence from the retail side? Or is there not innovation?
Have no power. When we gonna stop lying and just okay? What happens is the funds will pay for the message they want to get out, like they did with Kendrick and Drake, and then the retailer push it for liquidity. But notice all the retail trades that were the big ones. Have you guys met 1,000 people that said they got rich off AMC, GameStop, ARK? No, retail doesn't have the power. It all starts with the hedge funds and the big institutions. And if you do, I want the retail investors, and I'm not saying this out of hate, I'm just being honest, because we need honesty, unlike what the Democrats are giving us and putting that boy on stage. What we need is honesty. If retail trades matter so much, then find a penny stock under $3 and everybody pile into it for the next 4 months and see how it goes. Roy and Kitty had hundreds of millions in that thing and can push it up with 700 trillion people on a Zoom call on YouTube. No. So if Elon gets back in favor, but guess what? All the great return that came out of Tesla when he became unstable, the way I'm acting now, it all went to Jensen and Nvidia. So all your buyers and hedge fund support that you could have, Jensen has with that leather jacket.
Well, strong.
I don't make the rules up. They do. Vanguard does. BlackRock does.